Today I've released every top player into free agency. No, seriously, I went through and I just started releasing every single top player into free agency to see what could happen. And this is basically what I've been doing for the last 30 minutes. And this isn't a rebuild per se. I'm not trying to pick a team and win a World Series with a super team from free agency. No, I just want to see what would happen when all the top players in Major League Baseball were given freedom. They're allowed to sign with any team that they want and given a fresh slate. So let's see what happens. So yeah, like I've said, every single top player is in free agency. Like I mean, literally all the top players here. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And as you can see, as we move through the different teams, some teams do have like a 79 or a 78 sprinkled here and there. But for the most part, most of the teams are sitting around 75, 76, 77. I kind of just went with what I was able to add to free agency because there's only a certain amount of free agents that were available to add, because I didn't want to add legends and I didn't want to add any of like the really high rated World Baseball Classic players. So this is basically what I got it down to. Most teams are down to like 77, 70. I think it's like 78 and below. There might be a couple 79s here and there, which they'll probably win MVP and run the league. But when you've got all these players in free agency, who knows what's going to happen. So let's get through the first season. Everything should be on auto because I don't want to control anything. I just want to see teams go crazy. And to make this challenge just a little bit more exciting, I've decided to turn ignore budgets on to let teams spend whatever they want. So today's video is sponsored by Factor, and we've had them on the channel before, and I like having them here because they provide a really good, delicious product. Factor is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, which offers delicious, flavor-packed options on the menu each week to fit a variety of lifestyles, from keto to calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and protein plus. With over 34 options prepared by chefs and approved by dietitians, each meal has all the ingredients you need to feel satisfied all day long while meeting your goals. And like I said, with 34 plus options every week, there's plenty to choose from. Things aren't going to get old for you, and there's always more add-ons. There's 45 plus add-ons, including breakfast items, smoothies, egg bites, and little snacks, little desserts that just like, they're delicious. And Factor makes it super simple for you. It delivers to your doorstep. You put it in your fridge, and then whenever you're ready to eat it, you take it out, you pop a couple holes on top of the package, put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and then you're good to go. I've been using Factor. I really enjoy the smoothies. I really enjoy their dinner options. They have like a cottage pie, I believe they call it. It's really similar to a shepherd's pie. It's got potatoes, ground beef, veggies mixed in there. That's one of my favorites. It's definitely a must try. So if all this stuff sounds really good, head over to factor75.com or just click the link in the description below and use code ANT50 at checkout for 50% off your first box. Alrighty, so we're at the All-Star break, and I'm kind of interested to see who are our All-Stars. Martin Perez, Matt Manning, Bo Brisky, Luis Patino, and Griffin Canning. We've also got Jack Flaherty, Luzardo, Wainwright, Ashcraft, and Dre Jameson. Relievers Jake Junis and Jesse Chavez. I guess we can go through the National League first, and then we'll hop over to the American League. And as you can see, the closers here. Next up, we've got the catchers of Kiba Ruiz, who's hitting 300, by the way. Caratini and Nola. Rowdy Tellez, who is now with the Cardinals. Okay. Vogelbach also made the All-Star team. Arise is going to run this league. He's hitting 360. He might hit 400, which I'm pretty sure he finished the month of May with like a 406 average in real life. So it's definitely possible. We've got Bohm, Eduardo Escobar, and Malcolm Nunez. Vaughn Grissom is now with the Cubs, along with John Birdie. And then as you can see, the rest of the players here, there's some interesting names for sure. As we move over to the American League, you've got Manuel Margot, Josh Lowe, Verdugo Tapia, Raimel Talapia, he's over here in left field. Orelvis Martinez, Didi Gregorius got signed. Actually, I think he was one of the names that I added to the team to fill out the roster. So Didi Gregorius is back on a team, making an all-star appearance. Kirilloff, Josh Bell, Mitch Garver, James McCann, and then the relievers, as you can see, are right there. Some of them are having some pretty good seasons. So let's go take a look and see if there's been any transactions that have been completed in free agency. But first, there's been some trades. Gary Carpenter for Marcelo Meyer. Really? What else we got? Vesia for Asturi Ruiz. Yastrzemski for Jace Young. Okay. Some okay trades here and there. But oh, I didn't realize that James Outman was with the Reds. Oh, that's a decent pickup for the Reds for sure. Gavin Lux and Carlos Vargas and Gene Walters for. Hold on. Oh wait, no. Gavin Lux for Carlos Vargas, Gene Walters, and Luis Frias. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. There's some interesting trades going on, but Trent Grisham for Yanoa. Oh, are we serious? Are we sure about that one? Are we sure about that one? Morel for Vaughn Grissom. Interesting trade. I don't know if I would do that one. Nothing against Vaughn Grissom, but the only moves that have happened so far is the Astros have signed Shohei. The Twins have signed the catcher Will Smith. Spencer Strider is now with the Angels, and Shane McClanahan is with the Rays. So every other player here is just chilling in free agency, even though they're allowed to spend whatever kind of money they want. So, okay. All right, so the Athletics won 75 games. If they would do that in real life, I'd be really surprised. I think it has to do with the fact that they actually got their normal MLB roster compared to the rest of the league, which didn't get their normal MLB roster. So there were a couple more trades that did happen at the deadline, it appears. Okay, you know, the Alphabet was acquired by the Reds for Chase Petty. Interesting move there. But in free agency, no other moves in free agency. So let's take a look at the awards. Jock Peterson with the Mariners hit 41 home runs along with a 300 average and 938 OPS. That got him MVP. Shohei, okay, yeah, understandable. That's a pretty good year. And then Kerry Carpenter in the MVP list. Rowdy Tellez wins it on the other side, along with Randall Grichuk and TJ Friedl in the mix. Hunter Green is your Cy Young winner, along with Spencer Strider, who got picked up in free agency. Verdugo and Arise are the batting title winners. And then Brooks Raley, along with Jimmy Herget, are the relievers of the year. Rookies of the year, we've got Nathan Lukes and Bryce Terang. For sure. So let's get to the World Series. Let's see who takes the cake, and we'll go from there. What do we have right now? We have the Marlins over the Twins, 3-1, and it is the Marlins who end up with the World Series. It goes to Jonathan Daza. That is your MVP. Okay. All right. Off-season time. Let's see what the big moves that happen. So the first move that I get a notification for is Edwin Diaz to the Diamondbacks. And you can see I'm on the 20th of November, so some moves have had to have happened. Let's see. All transactions, trades. It looks like there's been a couple trades. Again, that just looks like they're going crazy with the trades. But really quickly, in free agency, Trevor Rogers to the Brewers. Rodon goes to the Brewers and Whitlock. So the Brewers are just going for every pitcher possible. Lodolo to the Angels. Hauk to the Diamondbacks. The Brewers also picked up Tristan McKenzie. The Red Sox picked up the redhead Dustin May. George Kirby to the Diamondbacks. Rays got Manoah. Peralta, Duran to the Reds and the Blue Jays. Okay. And then it looks like no other moves have happened. So there should still be some pretty big names available. And there are no contract offers. Except for like Jordan's getting like 4 years, 8.4 mil, which is weird because budgets are like free. Like there's no budget. Go out and spend your money like crazy. Like Arenado, 4 years, 71. Oh, okay. All right. Trout, 5 years, 157. All right, so now the money's being sent. He goes to the Athletics. And then Max Fried to the Reds. We'll simulate the Rule 5 draft. Garrett Cole goes to the Cubs. What else do we got? Mookie Betts to the Reds. Oh, the Reds are making some moves. Bryce Harper to the Giants. Acuna goes to the Cardinals. What was that, 5 years, 12 mil? Is that what I just saw? Jose Ramirez is getting a pretty big deal with the Marlins. Buxton goes to the Giants, joins Bryce Harper. That's a pretty nice outfield right there. And as we come to the end, the Brewers got Trey Turner too. So they signed like 6 different pitchers and Trey Turner, as Altuve goes to the Marlins. Xander Bogaerts returns to the Red Sox on a 1-year deal. The Cubs pick up Machado on a 5-year deal. Tatis to the Yankees, 9 years, 25.2 mil. They're paying 2.8 mil a year for the next 9 years for Fernando Tatis Jr. What is going on? We're about to get a bunch of different notifications here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip the rest, and we'll just check in with each team and see what it's looking like. All right, so after the offseason, you've got Trout and William Contreras with the A's. It looks like that was kind of like the 2 big moves, along with Corbin Burns, Shane Bieber, and Kevin Gausman. Honestly, though, not a bad offseason. You got 3 strong pitchers in the rotation and a couple decent bats. Let's see here. Arozarena, I think, would be the main pickup here. So it didn't look like it doesn't look like they did a lot of work at all in the offseason. What about the Rangers? They went and got Matt Chapman and Alcantara. That was really about it. Eek. All right. The The Braves got Correa and Crone and Dylan Cease along with Blake Snell. The Marlins, we saw they got Altuve. They got J-Ram as well. A couple pitchers as well. Mets did nothing. They just were like, yeah, we're pretty content. So what? Steve Cohen just closed up the checkbook all of a sudden. Now that he has unlimited, like literally unlimited money, he just decided to close up the checkbook. Same thing with the Phillies. Devers went to the Nationals along with George Springer. We have Machado with the Cubs along with Seiya Suzuki, who I think was already on the team, to be honest. What did they do? Got Garrett Cole, but they didn't really go out and get much either. The Reds got Mookie Betts. We saw that one. Let's see here. Trey Turner, Max Muncy, and then we saw their pitching. Rodon, McKenzie, Eflin. Wow, they really went out and got some pitching. Didn't they get more though? I thought they got more. I could have swore they went out and went a little crazy. Ryan Helsley. Oh, I got Whitlock. I guess they didn't go too crazy. I thought they did. I thought they got a couple more pitchers. Either way, let's get back to the Brewers really quick. We'll be with the Pirates. Bichette and Tucker. Those are some pretty decent pickups. What? Okay, so Austin Riley and Ronald Acuna. Pitching, they got Urias and Brandon Woodruff and AJ Minter. Okay, Cardinals, I see you. Diamondbacks didn't do too much. Doesn't look like the Rockies did too much either. Or the Dodgers, really. Didn't they sign Jazz? Yeah, they just got Jazz chilling in AAA. Jazz is their best player. What is he doing? What is he doing in AAA? I'm in the regular season too, so I don't really understand that one. So do other teams just have like really good players chilling in AAA? So Harper and Buxton with Stanton and Bregman. Oh wow. I also I've got to think that some players have regressed sitting in free agency, so I kind of need to look for a little bit lower rated than I normally would. But Swanson, Bogarts, Verdugo, Brian Reynolds, and Lindor. Ooh, the Red Sox went out and kind of got good. Masataka Yoshida now is kicked to the bench, unfortunately. And Brian Hayes, what is going on? Holy cow, they've completely revamped the team. Arenado and Tatis are on the Yankees. Interesting, with McClanahan and Pablo Lopez and Framber. That's a good offseason. Judge and Pete Alonso and Juan Soto. Corey Seager, Willie Adames. Ooh, the Rays. I see the Rays making some moves there. Okay, interesting moves around the league. I kind of like it. It's fun. It's exciting. And I want to see what they get. What else happens? Ohtani went to the Astros. They've got Olsen, Bellinger. Yeah, I'm liking this. All right, season 2. What is going to happen? And there's got to be more chaos, right? Those were some crazy offseason moves. Season 2. And the Athletics are one of the best teams in baseball, apparently. But we'll take a look at the All-Star voting really quickly. And it looks like we're starting to get back to a little bit of normalcy, I would say. You can kind of see who's Zach Messinger. It's got to be Messinger. But he's an All-Star. I wonder if he's the Blue Jays representative. Are the Blue Jays just that bad? But it's interesting to see all the different names, like Cease with the Braves, Woodruff with the Cardinals. Looks weird considering he's been a Brewer. Tristan McKenzie with the Brewers. It's interesting to see all the change-ups with the teams. Like him in an Astros uni looks so strange. Dane Dunning is also a All-Star along with Brooks Raley. And then you've got the closers here. And again, just all different names everywhere, all over the place, except for, the Athletics, who just kind of stayed the same just because they're such a bad team, which is, not the players' fault. We know it's the owner's fault. All right, so Rowdy Tellez, I think, is just going to run the league, apparently. We've got Pete Alonso with 24 home runs at the Trop somehow, even though certain batters. I think that was why Willie Adames left that stadium, or wanted to be traded. I don't think he wanted to be traded. I think it was just something that they were kind of forced into doing, just because he just couldn't see the ball at the Trop, which is kind of crazy that there's just certain players that just can't see at certain stadiums, which understandable, right? Some batters' eyes are a little bit easier than others. But yeah, it was super apparent. If you looked at his home and away splits, they were night and day. It was crazy how bad he was at home compared to how he was away. So it's unfortunate that he did have to leave the Rays. I do like Willie Adames. It sucks that he is a Brewer, because obviously I'm a Cubs fan. But yeah, that's crazy that those kind of things happen. That just like a change of scenery is literally the best option for a player to succeed. And obviously for a team, you don't want to lose one of your better players, but if he's not going to be, providing you with offense and also defense, but Willie Adames is a fairly good defender, but in this case, offense, obviously you're going to want to get him out of the lineup and try to get something in return. So there's that. But besides that, I don't know why I went on that long tangent there. We've got the Athletics in the postseason, which, we haven't seen in a few years. League leading wise. Oh, I forgot Judge went to the Rays as well. Okay. Who is Howie Larson? Had to have been a draft pick, and he just had a 400 on base percentage casually. So there's that. And let's see what else we got here. Xander Bogaerts with 200 hits. We've got 46 doubles for Bogaerts along with Jake McCarthy. Trey Turner with 14 triples. Jorge Mateo, who's off to a crazy start this year with 11 triples. And then Stanton with 55 home runs casually. He's got to win MVP, right? Yeah, and then Michael Harris is with the Nationals. So he stayed within the division, and he had a nice season. Okay. All right, Judge wins the MVP on the other side. We obviously know Stanton won it with his 55 home runs and 129 RBIs, which is okay. Hunter Green, back-to-back Cy Young awards. Taj Bradley is going to get his Cy Young award this year. Did he pitch last year? Yeah, he did. All right, batting title goes to Judge and Jonathan India. Andres Munoz and Emmanuel Clase are the relievers of the year. And then Howie Larson, who hit 319 with the 400 on base percentage, is your rookie of the year, along with Kodai Senga, who didn't pitch last year, but he joined the Marlins this year, and he was lights out. So there is that. James Wood, also with the Nationals, got his debut, and he had an okay year. Okay year for sure. All right, so we are in the postseason. Let's take a look. And the Athletics advance, beating the Guardians. I don't think they're going to beat... Yeah, I didn't think they were going to beat the Astros. So, what do we have here? Are we going to have the Marlins again in the World Series? Is that what's going to happen? It is. Did they win it last year? They did. Jonathan Daza was the World Series MVP, and the Astros end up defeating the Marlins really quickly. Let's go take a look and see what the Astros have here. That's a pretty good team. Like, Zach Wheeler, please tell me he didn't get any ABs. I would assume he didn't. It's meant to be Ohtani. It is, but sometimes it just glitches out and puts the pitcher there. So, okay. Yeah, Ohtani helps, having like the two best relievers in franchise also helps, along with Doval. Yeah, their team's actually pretty good. I can see why they won the World Series. Who did the Marlins have again? They had Daza. They have Arise, Altuve, J-Ram. Brian De La Cruz is pretty solid to have in franchise this year. Their pitching is fairly good too. So yeah, I could see why they did that. So there it is. We're so far 2 seasons down. Maybe let's do one more. Because I don't think a lot of players signed big long-term contracts. So let's see. Who do we have in free agency this year? So Ohtani's back once again. Dansby, Goldschmidt. So yeah, there's still quite a few big name free agents available. So let's see what we got. The Marlins have taken Ohtani away from the Astros, and they swoop him up on a 10-year deal. Okay, Dansby ends up with the Mets this time, and then Marcus Semien to the Reds. Okay, so I think that might be the Red Sox acquire Arenado. Did they already? Oh, they lost Dansby. Okay. All right, so that I remember now. Freddie Freeman goes to the Marlins, Goldschmidt to the Pirates, and I think that might be it for big moves. Yeah, it is. Alrighty, so let's see what happens for season 3. Season 3 in the books, and this is the playoff picture that we currently have. And if we take a look really quickly at the awards, we've got Judge winning a second MVP. Trout now in second place. Okay. All right, he was a little bit he was better than he was last year too. Ooh, okay. Ohtani winning MVP with the Marlins now, which is... Yeah, that happened. And then as we move more towards Cy Young, you've got McClanahan and Ryan Nelson. Really, Joey Meneses is the batting title winner along with Aaron Judge. I feel like he's just a monster in franchise this year. It's absolutely insane. Penn Murphy, reliever of the year, along with Brock Burke. And then we got Chester Denton. What a name. Chester Denton. Okay. Along with Kevin Parada of the Mets in real life. He's also in the mix for the rookie of the year. On the other side, it was Tom Lara, D potential 73 overall, and was just nutty. All right, sure. For sure. All right, what do we got going on here as we head to the World Series? it is going to be, oh, Miami didn't make it. They lose to the Reds. So the two teams, we've got Detroit, who have Badu, Riley Green, Lowe, Rutschman, Yastrzemski, Josh Young. Okay, the team's an interesting mix of players. And then we've got some pitching of Mize, Castillo. Ooh, that's a good pitching. That's some good pitching. That's a good pitching. That's some good pitching. And then if we look at the Reds really quickly, Ellie De La Cruz, Outman, Jonathan India, Betts, Semien, Murphy. That's an interesting mix of players too. What a name, dude. I don't even know how to pronounce that. I don't even want to try. Kangkwan Giljegeljaw. Kangkwan Giljegeljaw. Okay, sure. Pitching wise, you've got Hunter Green, Max Fried, Peralta. I can see why they both made it to the World Series. So let's go to the Reds here and let's see how this all plays out. It is going to be 3-1, 3-2, and the Reds end up winning a World Series. And Edwin Rios is going to be the World Series MVP. Interesting. All right. Man, James Outman had a pretty good postseason. Yeah. All right. Off-season time. The Marlins are just trying to build a super team. They've added Will Smith to the mix. I did say last season was going to be the last one. I lied. Maybe we'll go 5. Let's go 5. This will be season 4. Jack Flaherty to the Cubs. I think Ozzie went to a team, but I totally forgot who it was. Dansby is on the new team. 3rd team in 3 seasons. That's crazy. Andres Jimenez goes to the Diamondbacks, and I think that might be it for the offseason. I think we've kind of seen all the moves that have occurred. It's time to rock this season and see what happens. I forgot to check All-Stars last year, but you can kind of see who's popping off this year. Tyler Wells. Oh, okay. All right. Anybody else? Ooh, Tristan McKenzie's on fire. Brandon Woodruff, you got Otani, Garrett Cole, Connor Brogdon. All right. Let's see here. Some interesting names. 4.4 ERA, and you're giving him a All-Star appearance? What? Is he the only Athletics representative? That would be really unfortunate if that's the case. No, Shane Langeliers is here. Why are we giving Zach Jackson an appearance with a 4.5 ERA? Michael Chavis, 2.15. That's got to be like the only Nationals representative. You can't. What are some of these all-star appearances? These are kind of crazy. Machado with 29 home runs, by the way. Just a casual 29. Devers is there. So why are we letting Chavis in the mix? That guy was hitting like 215. You can't give him an all-star appearance when he's hit 215. And there's another team representative there. Oh yeah, the Athletics also have Trout. Come on. But yeah, some interesting names for sure. It's weird to see Tatis as a Yankee. Okay. Playoff picture for season 4. Here we go. This is what it looks like. And I'm intrigued to see. We got some league leaders. Mike Trout led the league in quite a few categories as we kind of fly through some of these here. Bo Bichette with 229 hits. Luis Guillorme with 222. 229 is 41st all time for single season hits, right? And the most recent time this happened was Ichiro, where he hit 242 in 2001, and in 2004 he hit 262. I think I'm looking at it. Oh, Darren Erstad also hit 240 in 2000. Rod Carew in the 70s. Ichiro in 2007 had 238. But in the 2000s, I mean, that is, yeah. Altuve had 225 in 2014. So there's a comparison. Most of these are like the 1930s, the 1940s, the 60s, the 70s, which the 70s and the 80s, like not too far away, but that kind of gives you a comparison. 229, that's a crazy amount of hits. That's a lot of hits. Like, what did he hit? 338, but he had 229 hits, 678 at bats. He had the most by quite a bit. Holy cow. All right, that's just a lot of hits. That's a lot of hits. A lot of hits. All right, awards. What do we got here? Trout. Oh, I didn't see what the third one was. But I would assume Bo Bichette won it on the other side. Otani Cy Young winner along with Spencer Strider. Kwan, batting title. Stevenson, also the batting title. Brock Burke and Penn Murphy, also reliever of the year. Oliva, rookie of the year, along with Yuri Perez. I like it. All right, postseason time. What do we got going on here? It is going to be as we get to the World Series, it's going to be the Athletics and the Cardinals. Okay, so really quickly, what do we have for the Athletics? Mike Trout's still there, Brett Beatty, Langeliers, Cabrera. Okay, this is the A's Max Muncy, which I guess the other Max Muncy also played for the A's before he went to the Dodgers, but there we go. Oh, their pitching's kind of nasty. Who's this guy? He looks pretty good, but he wasn't that great. Okay, and then the other team was the Cardinals. So let's see what we've got here for the Cardinals. Austin Riley, Carlson. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's a good team. That's a really strong team. Yeah. All right, let's see who wins it. It is going to be the Athletics. Wow, the first 2 games were a curb stomping by the Athletics, and then Laureano wins MVP, which I don't think we're ever going to see that in our lifetime. So let's get to this final season. Let's see who retired. Nobody. Okay, and let's see what big moves happen this off season. It is going to be Urias to the Red Sox, Michael King to the Reds, Sean Murphy to the Diamondbacks, Heim to the Rays. Is that it? Ryan Helsley to the Braves, Gallen to the Phillies. Ooh, that'd be a good pickup for the Phillies for sure. Logan Webb to the Brewers. Alcantara goes to the Diamondbacks. Really? Luzardo to the Mets. And is that it? Carlson, Garrett Cole, and the month of February, Nico Horner goes to the Blue Jays. Rangers pick up Trevor Story, David Peterson to the Astros. And final season, let's do this. All right, final check-in with the All-Stars, and Taj Bradley, man, he's been pretty nasty the last few years. Okay, Taj Bradley, I'm gonna have to keep my eye on picking, maybe possibly picking him up for rebuilds moving forward. And Brandon Pfaadt also makes his first appearance at the age of 28. Ohtani's still, balling out with the Marlins. Let's see here, who else we got going on? Some interesting names: Bryson Motts, okay, Vesia, Junis, and Weathers. Spencer Schwellenbach is making it. Okay. Catchers, we've got Yainer Diaz, which is not a name I expected to see in this, but also at the same time, he could have been playing like day one. Yeah, he was. Okay, so yeah, I mean, he hit 274 in 71 games in 2024. So, okay. Andrew Vaughn, Jake Cronenworth, Harold Ramirez is hitting a casual 300. Okay, for sure. What else? Michael Bush. Wait, 350? For Brendan Donovan. Wow. Alec Boehm. You got Arenado and Devers. Devers with the Royals now. Where's Gunnar Henderson? Is he still with the Orioles? He is. Seager, Cutter Kofi. Or is it Coffee? Ooh, that's a tough one. Bichette. We got Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt's with the Marlins. Okay. Let's see. Wait. Left field? Is he playing the outfield? Do they have him in the lineup as an outfielder? I'm confused. Have you guys seen that before? I don't think I've ever seen that before, where they actually have him in a position instead of just... Huh? Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that. Have you guys seen that? Let me know in the comment section. I don't think I've ever noticed that, where he's been in a position, not just a starter. Has that happened this sim and I just haven't noticed it? All right, final playoff picture currently looks like this, and I feel like we've kind of seen the same teams, but at the same time, it's been a mix-up here and there, and so I'm kind of intrigued to see awards now. We've got a Cy Young and a Hank Aaron. Devers wins MVP along with Ohtani once again. Ohtani's just been absolutely insane. Not really pitching-wise. I guess he's only had one bad year in 2025, but offensively, he's been absolutely insane. When we take a look at the pitching side of things, Corbin Burns and Ohtani with the Cy Young. Bo Bichette, who is now with the Braves, is still just absolutely mashing with 219 hits this time. Let me take a look. I'm assuming he led the league with hits. Yeah, he was the only one with 200 hits. Is he a must pick up now for franchise? Is he going to be my shortstop every single time I do a franchise now? What else we got? Robert Perez Jr. A lot of C potential picks are getting Rookie of the Year, which I'm cool with it. Like, that's good to see that there's some variation this year, and it's just not like all the OP players. So really quickly, we'll fly through the lineups one last time just to kind of get an idea of what we're looking at after 5 years. Oh, I just smacked my desk. Ooh, oh, Lazaro Montes. If you guys don't know about this guy, I think this guy's like 18 years old in real life. I think he's like 6'7". He is in the Mariners system. He looks crazy. I haven't seen what he's put up numbers wise this year, but Lazaro Montes, keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him. Just, 6'7" and 18. I that's something to monitor. Like, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of a large human being, and it's just crazy. So here we go. This is the rest of the teams, and I mean, I feel like most of these teams are pretty competitive. Like, there's pretty evenly spread out. Some maybe not the Padres, but like mid to low 80s, mid to high 80s, a couple 90s sprinkled in with some of these teams. But I feel like MLB has done. Oh, their pitching's nasty. Their pitching's really nasty. The Blue Jays pitcher gets 84 rated in 5 seasons. Holy cow. Okay. All right. That's good to know. That's really good to know. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. The roster that I'm using is the same one that I used for yesterday's rebuild of the Royals, and I put it on screen in that Royals video. So if you're looking for my roster, there it is. That's what you're looking for. I'm assuming you're always looking for a roster. I put it in yesterday's video with the Royals. So here we go. It is postseason time. The Athletics have been eliminated. Okay, let's sim a few more days. Let's see what we got. It comes down to the Diamondbacks versus the Cardinals and the Tigers versus the Red Sox. And in the end, it is going to be the Diamondbacks and the Red Sox. Let's quickly take a look at the Diamondbacks. What do they have? McCarthy, Bregman, Bohm, Lau, Pasquantino, Carroll, Murphy, Drew Jones, and Lawler. That's a really good team. I mean, 87 overall at 23 years old seems a little bit high. I know if you take away some of those fielding stats, he'd probably be down to the low 80s, which even still seems a little low. But based on his hitting stats, okay, I can kind of see why he's a little bit lower rated. I thought he wouldn't have performed as well. I was expecting more kind of like this range, but okay. I don't know. I feel like that's a little high, I'll say, but pitching wise, everybody looks insane. And now if we take a look at Boston really quickly, what do we have here? Mondesi, Luis Gonzalez, Reynolds, Arenado. Oh, this was a team that like had a crazy team and apparently still have a crazy team. I think their pitching is kind of nasty, but let's see how this is going to finish. We'll go up to Boston here, and they are up 3-2, 3-3. It comes down to game 7. They end up losing to the Diamondbacks, and the award winner is Jake McCarthy, the MVP. Postseason MVP goes to Luis Gonzalez and Jake McCarthy. And there's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button down below. That is the video of everybody in free agency, and that's about it. Some interesting moves along the ways. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new here, and check out this video right here. I think you'll really enjoy it. That's it. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.